Alright, all you video gamers, welcome to yet another newspaper comic book collaboration Saturday morning cartoon shootout edition of the DJ Smokey's True Videogame Stories. And with a title like that, we decided to go with the game none other than Kid Soldier PCA 4. A game, mind you, that is still in the prototype stage, but a game we've been waiting to play for the longest amount of time, and I am extremely excited to tell a video game story for it right now. So without further ado, folks, I think it's time for us to go ahead, grab our favorite comic book newspaper characters, and collab with another group of set of characters from a cartoon long ago to get ready to fight against the forces of evil as we get ready to paint the picture. Alright, this video game story began approximately 6 months ago after a long 9-month back and forth conversation with Takeshi Video Games talking about this game and me getting overly excited to play it, not only because of the cool music but also because of the blessing of the creator of Heathcliff to see what these guys can do outside of their comic book homeworlds. And once I played the game, the first character I told Takeshi I was gonna use was Mungo due to his over-burly size, and I got a feeling he was gonna probably have the coolest finisher of them all, and I was half right. Because the second when I got news that this game released, I said, where's Mungo? Pick Mungo, and the second I went walking down the street, next thing I know I was bombarded by a whole bunch of enemies that tried to take me out, for Mungo to give them the old 1-2 combination, and then for my super attack to be unleashed to turn into a giant supernova explosion, taking everything out in my path, all the way until I reached the giant tank and next to the city buildings, which technically was the end for this part of the game. And after I got excited using Mungo, I said I'm gonna use every single character that's to my disposal as we speak for this demo. So I went from Mungo, then went to Hector, then went to Woodworth, then went to Heathcliff, who used dual guns to take people out. Then I switched my focus straight on to Dixie, who used this beam pole and actually boomeranged it toward enemies for it to come right back toward her, for me to just run through the level, just taking people out with a baton of sorts. And then when I finally made my way through all the characters and realized I had only 2 left, I said, I wonder how dangerous these last 2 are, cause I've never heard of them before. Marine Tavern was a character I've never heard of before, along with Beast Soldiers, who I do believe came from the Cadillac Cats or Kid Soldier universe. And I said, you know what, I'll use Marine Tavern first. Used Marine Tavern, did a whole bunch of crazy attacks with saw blades and what have you, and said, you know, it's a good character, it's pretty cool. I mean, it gets the job done, but it's missing that je ne sais quoi. I don't know, but I do believe I could do better. And the second I was able to click on Beast Soldiers, that's when the entire game, platform, and ground changed when I used her. Cause once I stopped using those blasters and started punching people in the face left and right, I said, I wonder what her special is for her to turn into some saw disc sonic ball attack and just roll right through all the enemies in midair and just slice her way all the way toward the tank that it took everybody about a good minute and a half to reach with all the firepower they had. For the enemies to actually catch up to me, and I got a feeling they were saying, hey, wait a minute, we weren't done attacking you, where are you going? And I would respond back in my own way with, wherever I please. And it would just get worse through every boss character I would buzzsaw through, whether it be a giant tank, a helicopter, a guy with a Jason Voorhees mask, or even another character who looked like a Helgen soldier. Every single last one of them would feel the wrath of Beast Soldiers as she would buzzsaw her way right through every single one of those enemies as quickly as I could possibly imagine. And I said the second the full version of this game comes out, I would pick that character hands down. But then I would get a note from Takeshi Video Games just the other day telling me that not only Cleo but Kid Breaker were available for the game, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give this game another swing. I need to try out and see what Cleo could do. Now, granted, I didn't see Kid Breaker in a note that Takeshi Video Games would leave me. I would just see a picture of Cleo holding on to a loot, getting ready to fight. And ever since Dynasty Warriors, I said anybody who uses a loot in open combat has to be one of the most dangerous characters that this game has ever seen. And boy, oh boy, was I right. Cause the second I decided to use Cleo and just hit a whole bunch of enemies while using my guns to just get through the level, her ultimate attack would be not only with this loot strum that she would use that would take out a whole bunch of enemies with this wide burst of attack with ninja stars going all over the place, but it would also be her shooting forward while sliding using that loot, taking enemies out at the same time. And after I was able to dominate that level and beat the end of the demo level that they would have for this game and see my high score, it would be well over 3.5 million. And not only that, beating out the prior score that we set with B Soltris by double. And while I entered in the new high score that I had for this game with the word cats, I would say to myself, next time we run into Takeshi Video Games on Twitter, we're gonna give him a big thank you and let him know that this will be a video game story in the near future. Probably sooner than he would think. And with that said, folks, wraps it up for another comic book collaboration Saturday morning cartoon shootout edition of the DJ Smokey's True Video Game Stories. And with that, we'll be back with more right after this. So stay tuned.